So, I'll go with the serious version of Dan's suggestion. And, yeah. You guys are walking by what you assume is like, a broken down old police car because it, looks old like most of the ones in this town do. And one of you bumps into it and the siren does suddenly go off. There's no officer apparently in it, but any semblance of subtlety in your approach is obviously ruined if it wasn't already by your car trip over here. And in fact, what's your guys' resolves? While I roll something real quick.
Three.
3, so would have taken probably, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that's not happening, Dan. Alright, so you guys set off the siren. Whoever's police car it is probably already on their way back from whatever they were actually doing. But you don't have much time to worry about that. Actually, while we're at it, Jeremy, give me a Clash of Wills. Remember, you for your obfuscate. Remember, you do have 8 again for it.
I forgot what I rolled for Clash of Wills.
Blood potency plus the discipline.
I think I had a thing up that would help me, but I can't remember. Okay.
But yes, I'll clarify that for future suggestions. It does need to be something serious that fits the tone of the game. It just doesn't have to be as reserved as I might make the dramatic failure. Alright, that's a complete failure. Let me roll for them just to be safe.
Are we going to succeed at anything tonight?
Probably not. That's how the dice seem to be going.
Yeah, seems so. Alright. Okay.
Is it an aspects or a similar type roll? Okay. Ability.
Is what an aspects or similar type roll?
Whatever is going on, because remember I get a misspell.
Oh,
I get a
okay.
Clash of Wills.
Right. No, it is not.
Okay.
I was just about to explain what it is. So yeah, the 3 of you don't have to worry about that for very long, because you suddenly find the area around you shifting, and it's not like, a sudden teleportation or anything. It's more like this area overlaps with the inside of a dark basement, and for a brief moment you're able to perceive both of them before all 3 of you just end up in that basement. It is basically like your traditional serial killers closed off dungeon basement, soundproofed, a metal door at one end that's locked. The walls are stone bricks, basically. On one corner of the room, you see the Heirophant there. She is chained up, and she is, you assume, in torpor because she is completely unconscious and seems dead. But beyond that, there's nothing in the room except for very, very thick shadows that seem to permeate everything, and they seem to be moving around. If you guys want to do anything, now's the time.
I'm taking notes. Give me a second.
Right.
I'm double checking my abilities because it's been a while.
Yep. Understandable. Now let's do the... I'm going to try the Cloudbot commands one more time. Dang. I was hoping it just needed to, like, catch up or something since it's been a while. What did I do last time? I know that at one point it wasn't working, and then I did something that fixed it. I know it's in the chat. It has mod permissions. The custom commands are on. Right? Command settings. Let's do send cool. Yep, those are all active. Variables. Alright. Okay, sorry. Back to what we were doing. Well, if you guys have figured anything.
I'm gonna go over and try to pick the lock for the door.
Do you have...
Ignore the shadows?
Well, not just that. Do you... What kind of lockpicks do you have?
I have a bobby pin.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you ahead of time, it's not going to work. It is like more than a deadbolt.
Heavy-duty
it is
lock.
barred on the other side physically.
Okay.
As you guys ponder what to do, every once in a while, out of the corner of your eyes, you see a pair of yellow eyes flash from the shadows at you and then disappear.
Hello?
There's no response.
Well, we found the Heirophant. That's what we wanted to do.
I don't have any sensibilities.
I'm reading.
Okay.
How much vitae does it take to wake somebody up? Like somebody like a...
You need higher blood potency than them by 2 dots, I believe.
Okay. Yep, there's no way I'm waking them up that after.
Right. While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and, I guess, manually link the bloodline stuff for people, because I'm sure some people are going to end up curious about Tassie's bloodline, especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always have someone asking, how is a vampire using kenning or doing Fey stuff? All right.
Oh, hey, I have kenning.
Yeah, I was nice and subtle about that there.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to hint at that too with the sense comment.
I was looking at my sheet.
So yeah, Kaiju Kainen is, as you can see on the window, is Tassie's custom bloodline. They're basically Nosferatu that are even more shunned in Kindred society, and so tend to stick with changelings and find themselves in the Hedge. And then the Haranya Naga are actually a bloodline that was just mentioned in first edition. They're basically Indian blood sorcerers. And so we came up with their blood sorcery and called it Sadhana, kind of like the blood sorcery that the... what do you call it in Old World of Darkness used? People that know it better than me will know it. Was that the No, the followers of Set weren't that. Was that the... It was the... I guess I can Google it. Sadhana, Old World of Darkness. Form of... Hindu blood sorcery by the Hindu Brahmin Knights of India. Okay, I guess it was just its own little thing that was used in the area. I think... Yeah, it was one of the followers of Set bloodlines. I was right. Okay, cool. But yeah, I just stole that name because I looked up the meaning and it seemed appropriate. But yeah. Did you roll kenning?
I was looking up to see what my dice pool for it was.
Humanity.
Well, you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt, so...
Interrupt me with a dice roll?
by asking you what it was. I can't actually just click on humanity. Damn you.
Yeah. I think at some point I'm going to put the Kaiju Kainin and a Mage Legacy I had for the Hedge, and I'll come up with a Werewolf Lodge and, you know, stuff like that, and make a little non-changelings in the Hedge Storyteller's Vault book.
Cool.
But...
Alright. Do I have... There we go. Oh, hey. What do you know?
5 successes. If you read the books, when I start a new Chronicle, yeah, I do usually search for new players. I will remember that you want to play. If you want to guarantee a place and, like, join the game, like, immediately, you can pay for my $100 Patreon tier. And I would have no way to say no. But...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to turn that down. So yeah, okay, we got 5 successes on kenning. Okay. So, roll a Clash of Wills. That'll be blood potency plus cantrips with the 8 again.
Okay.
You'll be learning some stuff either way, but some of it is hidden.
Blood potency plus cantrips.
Remember to mark a blood beat for that.
Woohoo. Alright, let me roll first and then I'll mark the blood beat. Alright, so I have 6 dice.
I suppose I should roll the other side of that, shouldn't I? That'll have that many dice because of that. Oh, wow. So, mark another blood beat for that. Because I give it to you for exceptionals on the Clash of Wills, too. Has been the thing. Alright. So, as you reach out with your sense of, you know, blood kenning, you pick up on... Fair enough, Dan. You don't actually have to buy the $100 tier if you're waiting for the next one. Though I'd definitely appreciate it. I would very much appreciate that. Anyway, so you reach out with kenning and you discover a number of things. The first thing is your senses reach out. You notice a sort of outline along all of the thick shadows. There are dozens... You see an outline of dozens upon dozens of owl-like shapes stretched out and, like, contained within the basement. And that's the next thing you notice. There's a sort of, like, barrier around each of them, or an anchor holding them in place. They can't do much beyond look around because of whatever this is. A similar sort of magic is on the Heirophant herself. It has, like... It is keeping her in her state of torpor through magical means. And finally, there is another barrier around the basement that more or less prevents anything from moving mundanely in or out of it. And all of that is awakened magic, since you got the exceptional and know the true nature of it. Actually, let's give you a little bit more. You notice that it's awakened magic. It has that touch of supernal imagery to it, but those supernal symbols are corrupted somehow. Not the same way that the magic of your mage friend seemed to be corrupt, but corrupt in, like, it's breaking down from within. The magic itself is unhealthy. It's not working right.
What were you saying, Donna, that you couldn't find earlier?
Is she muted? Yeah, she's muted. Donna, you're muted.
I said I can't find my devotion to read. I don't know where it was kept. I thought it was on my sheet, but it's not.
Didn't I I believe I put all of that stuff in our game-specific stuff page, didn't I? Yeah, go into our Discord, the game-specific stuff channel, and look at the top. Arcane Site's right there. Owls are trapped by... Yeah, I think you're not cast by bears, cast by awakened. It's awakened. That's the mortal mages. The awakened is the official term for them. God, the Streamlabs thing is just bugging me so much now.
So I'm going to stare off into space for a few minutes, kind of looking around, kind of turning around slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's interesting and not good.
I don't know, Dan. Are bears on your mind, maybe?
Kind of reach out and poke at Charlie and Jeremy. Unless Jeremy looks like he's busy too.
I assume he is. I think Donna's reading her devotion.
Yeah.
I guess I reach out and poke at Jeremy and like, there's not a mundane way in or out of this place. It's all awakened magic.
Well, considering that's how we got in, what did you expect? Doubt they'd put us somewhere that we could just walk out of.
There's always hope. But, the Heirophant is trapped by a barrier, and so are all of the owls that are watching us. All of these shadows are actually owls.
Roll to know what she is referencing.
I believe you guys have already.
Or would we?
You guys
remember.
You guys already have confirmed you know what Strix are. I remember last time you rolled because of the mention of the Shadows of Dees.
Okay.
Right. So, we're surrounded.
And they are gathering Strix.
Mm-hmm. I'm binding them here. But
Yes.
there's something wrong with the magic. It feels unhealthy. Kind of like it's dying.
Make it die faster.
I could probably try that. Somebody that's actually good at destroying things would be better at it than me. I'm more the other end of the circle there.
Okay.
I could try to change it, maybe.
I think you would probably need higher transmutation than you have to transmute magic itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only have it.
And, I mean, maybe I could do something with destruction too, but I don't know if I doubt they'd let us just sit here and spend a couple of hours doing our own rituals without doing something.
Probably not, but
So Jeremy, do you have are you ready for your questions and whatnot?
Yeah. Well, sort of.
All right. Well, you're activating Arcane Sight, I imagine, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, you can see like basically a glow in all of the places that I already mentioned to Tassie. You know, the shadows themselves have magic on them. The Hierophant has magic. The area itself has magic surrounding it. They don't know,
Alright.
Danful.
Let's see. I'd like to look at the magic that's on the area, so
Okay.
let's see. Gotta roll uncanny perceptions.
Okie dokie. So that'll be intelligence plus empathy plus aspects.
Yep. I've got it on the second page.
Cool.
I just had to switch back over to the game screen so I could
Two
hit the
successes.
little modifier button. Just got an alert on my watch that Falco's doing stuff on Twitch.
I am. I gotta go, guys. I want to watch that guy.
2 successes, 2 questions.
Yep.
Okay.
Whoa, what was that?
I don't know, that wasn't me.
Why?
I thought Danful was already following. Oh, I think it's because I clicked it on the recent events thing, and that triggered it for some reason. This thing doesn't really update very quickly.
Devil Angel just raided.
Oh, hey.
Angel?
Thank you for the raid, Devil Angel. I believe she's raided me before.
I believe she has, the last time we were doing this.
Yep.
I'd like to know for the...
Oh, wait, no, I
effect
think I might have
of-
clicked on that one, too. That's weird. So she hasn't actually raided us. That was just Streamlabs being dumb because I was trying to figure out stuff. Yeah, I know, you've been following me. Alright, let me try going... Maybe it actually wants me to be here? Alright, but anyway, go ahead and ask your questions. I am listening.
For the magic of the area, I'd like to know what exactly the does. For one question.
Okay. You get a sense of like the space itself, like the just the concept of the location is completely like torn away and separated from the space on the outside of it. Like it's its own little spot, more or less.
Like a pocket dimension or something.
Not quite, more like it's just cordoned off. There's no actual space in between the two of them.
Interesting. I need a second question. I know I haven't studied anyone's effects like this before because I've only studied one mage's effects before.
Remember, you can come up with your own questions.
Is there an exploitable weakness?
That's it. Yes, if it's dying especially. I'll go with what he said.
You get a sense... Let's see how to put this. You get a sense like there are rusty gears turning in the area, and you feel like if those could be connected together, like there's an obvious empty space, like almost to put something. If you could fix that, then this magic would just stop existing.
Alright. I will try to explain that to the other two.
Given that, I'm going to look around on the walls again and stuff, and just said there were sigils drawn and stuff like that. Or am I misremembering?
No, there's no obvious sigils or anything like that right now.
I'm just remembering them. Oh, it was Travis's. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Thank you, Cowboy Tom, for following. I think that one's legitimate. I don't remember a Cowboy Tom previously, and I haven't clicked anything, so.
Hello. Wait up.
Alright. So is there anything else you guys want to do in, like, the immediate short term, like the next few minutes?
And can I use, now that she is
Now that she's...
Can I use kenning?
Keep going.
Can I use kenning again to look for these weak spots?
No, kenning is basically to give you a general, like, supernatural radar of things. Your exceptional success gave you the nature of things, but it doesn't really give you the innate inner workings of it like her devotion can.
Okay.
Alright. So, if there's nothing else you're trying in the next, like, minute or two, basically, after a short while... Shoot, let me check something real quick. No, actually, that's fine. Yeah, after a short while, a woman appears in the room. Let's show that to everyone. Alright. As it mentions there, she's a dark-haired woman wearing a black dress, and her eyes seem to, like, flicker pure black, at just random intervals. It's almost like static, like it's going in and out. Like her eyes can't decide if they're actual eyes or just pools of darkness. And the shadows themselves almost seem to surround and like intertwine with her at this point. She looks to all of you with a little bit of a smile. Why did I say smile? A little bit of a smile. And says, so what brings these new intruders to my home? And she says it with all the, like, friendliness in the world. She looks almost happy to have you here.
I'll point at the Heirophant.
She walks over towards the Heirophant. Oh, and by the way, Jeremy, you notice she is just loaded with magic right now. But yeah, she walks over to the Heirophant and, places a hand on her and says, "Oh, is that what she is, the Heirophant? I've noticed that the shadows I collect, they almost reflect in her."
I didn't say Heirophant, I just pointed.
Oh, you pointed it. I thought you said you pointed and then said the Heirophant.
No, I said I point at the Heirophant.
Okay. I didn't hear the at, so I assumed you were going into talking right there. My bad.
Mm-mm.
Oh, gotcha. Thanks, Stan. And yeah, it's Requiem, Macabre. So yeah, okay, then she doesn't say Heirophant. She just says, yeah, I've noticed that this woman reflects the shadows within her. She's been quite useful to my expansion of my understanding of them. And she turns to look at you again.
Raise eyebrow.
No, that's just the picture I use. I don't think that's Katy Perry. Whatever.
No, it looked like Marina Brecker. Never mind.
You raise an eyebrow at her.
Yes.
Okay. Do any of the rest of you do anything?
You think Miranda would be like...
I would like to examine some of the magic that is on her.
Okie dokie. Roll your Clash of Wills again.
Clash of Wills.
I would just stand there quietly, kind of looking at her suspiciously.
All right. You attempt to get a gauge of the magic on her, but you can't really pierce it. It's like held inward too much. You just can't read the nature of it.
Okay.
All right. I believe Miranda was going to say something.
Like, what do you mean the shadows in her?
She looks at the two of you, or the three of you, and she says, almost looks like the same shadows that are within all of you. It's the same as the ones that are free-flowing around you, but different in a way. I find myself incredibly curious. I'm trying to figure out exactly what the difference is, and I believe you all can help me.
Something tells me that's not going to be pleasant.
Jeremy will say, "Who are you?"
She smiles and she smiles further and says, "You can call me Trixie." You know, as innocent as can be in her tone.
Right.
Give you a moment to, so did any of the rest of you say or do anything else? Or you just wait for whatever she's doing?
I am reading Haunt's Gateway. Give me a second.
How what?
Haunt's Gateway.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this says I could actually create a hedge gate, but it needs to be subterranean, which we are.
Mm-hmm.
So can I go ahead and do that to get us out of here and into the hedge?
You can attempt to do that, yes. Let's see.
Okay.
Alright. So you're going to need to roll a Clash of Wills again. Again, remember your 8 again.
Okay.
Which arcane does she have active? Yeah, that'll work. Ooh, not bad. Let's see what she gets. Okay. Yeah, you feel yourself almost struggling for a moment, like that separation from space wants to make it so this place can't connect to the hedge. But nonetheless, you are able to create one. Roll initiative, not exactly for combat, but just to see how quickly you all can react in relation to her. And I suppose I should bring up her sheet again. And none of that will really improve her initiative, so you're actually pretty lucky there.
Where is the initiative button again?
That's at the
By
top.
the die, by the die.
Thank you. I always lose it for some reason.
Initiative 0. If you don't have
Yep.
your weapon out, you don't take the penalty.
Yeah. I just have that by default. So I have it selected by default.
Well, what would your result there be without your weapon?
Uh,
Because, like,
I understand. Let me... 8.
8. Okay.
I think... Or, hold on. Let me double check what the roll... Yeah.
Okie dokie.
No, it would be 6.
Okay. Yeah, because 2, 4, 6. Yep. Okay. So, Miranda, you are able to act before the mage, but they are not. What do you do?
I'm going to grab both of them and yank them through the gate with me.
You're going to grab them and pull them through the gate? Okay. Roll...
Grab each one by a belt loop and grab and yank.
Roll strength or dexterity plus athletics just to basically be able to pull them with you efficiently before her turn.
Any modifiers?
Nope. 2 successes. Okay. So yeah, you react surprisingly quickly. You know, you get that gateway up, and you can see the mage looks like she's intently focusing, about to do something, but you pull both of them through there and allow the gateway to... believe I didn't... Yeah, okay, so you can allow it to just immediately close behind you.
Yep.
You pull the 3 of you into the hedge, into an area that you don't really recognize. You know, as I have said before, I'll pull it up again real quick, just so everyone can see. Boop. The hedge around Kindred Creek, oddly enough, looks like a really huge, abandoned, almost post-apocalyptic city. So basically, it looks like nature's slowly claiming back the space, more or less, after, you know, a mass extinction or something along those lines. There's a lot of seemingly unintelligent hedge beasts and things like that. Let me go ahead and open up my changeling book, because the only way to do anything in the hedge other than randomly wander is to get into a quote-unquote chase with it. Because the hedge wants to do weird stuff to you, and you don't want to let it. So yeah, you end up in an area that you don't recognize, but that's pretty typical. Around here, the buildings are oddly tall, like an unnatural number of skyscrapers. Like, even in a big city, there's only so many skyscrapers, but like everything around here is overgrown skyscrapers.
Interesting.
I look at both of them like, welcome to the Hedge. Now I just need to find our way out of here.
So this is where you almost died.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Charlie.
Well, probably better than staying back there with her.
To say the least, but remember, I had warned you not to do anything dangerous without me.
I brought you with me.
This time,
You're not going to let me live that down, are you? Or
after a
that
while.
down.
At the moment, there's no obvious dangers around. Just, like I said, a couple of random little critters you would expect in a situation like this. Like, there's a deer off in the distance, there's a bunch of squirrels, there's some rats and mice that are gnawing on some sort of meat over in the corner.
Looking at my cantrips again. Okay, that one won't let me do anything that just lets me carry extra traveling fruit.
Alright, so what do you all do?
Well, I'm hoping that, Miranda, that's her name, knows which direction to go.
Yeah, I'd look to Miranda and say, well, lead the way.
I am going to turn around and basically, like, I'm looking around, and if I catch anything that looks remotely familiar, I'm gonna head in that direction.
Remotely,
Just kind of
what?
like familiar.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna head in that direction. Like, I know exactly where I'm going. This is okay.
Okie dokie. Let us start off the chase. Alright. So we're going to start with determining who has the edge. I'm going to have to open another book to look at the base chase rules simultaneously, since I don't want to have to flip back and forth in the same book, because obviously summarizing the rules in the same section would be too easy. We don't want that, do we? He said sarcastically. Here we are. Chases. Okay. Usual roll. Alright. We're going to call this... all of you go ahead and roll Wits plus Occult. Or Survival if that's somehow higher. But I'm pretty sure it's not for any of you. And the Hedge gets to roll... How many dice?
Is this teamwork or individual?
Individual.
Okay.
Do any of you have any positive mental or emotional conditions? I suppose I can just kind of look. We've got a steadfast and inspired, so yes, we've got an alert. That should have been resolved by now, Jeremy.
Informed. Huh? Which one?
Doesn't alert resolve at the end of a scene? No, it's only a few. Never mind, ignore that steal. But you also have a negative condition, so let's see here. So
I think all I have is negative conditions.
Alright, so it looks like, yeah, you've got jaded. Alright, so that's going to be a net of 0 change to the...
Tempted and addicted.
It's going to be a net of 0 change.
Does my 9 again from professional training count towards this roll?
Your professional training, yeah. If it covers a cult.
Yeah, it does.
Alright. None of you are changelings, so it does get 1 die bonus. Alright, let me make its roll. Oh yeah, I gotta offer, Miranda, do you want to make yours dramatic failure?
Yes.
You do.
I might as well.
I obviously did not learn my lesson the last. Yeah, and I will go ahead and let the crowd of watchers.
Alright, a dramatic failure for determining who has the edge in the hedge. And you said you were doing that too, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Frank, if you're still there and listening, you should be really good at this one.
Yeah, so if anyone has any ideas for some dramatic failures for determining who has the edge, either them or the hedge, go ahead. And,
I actually would have had 9 again as well, so I would have 1 die.
No, we're using a private call, Dan, so we can't really easily do that, I'm afraid.
Oh well.
So yeah, I'll give a couple minutes for if anyone has any dramatic failure ideas, otherwise I will figure it out myself.
Can you add someone in like a Twitch chat? That way if I'm like trying to get Frank's attention, I can do that?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if he's paying attention. I don't see him in the list. I don't think he's watching anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, the hedge is basically like a Fey realm. It's like a self-aware realm that's kind of like semi-natural and likes to twist the intents of emotions and mindsets of those within it.
Otherwise, this would be the notorious gazebo fight.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember that. Good
Boy.
times. Alright, well, while I'm waiting, I'm going to go get a refill on my drink real quick. I will be right back.
Maybe you will get lucky and run into your friend. Like this.
Great spelling there.
Me and my typos alone. I can't edit it. Discord has me so freaking spoiled where I can like edit my post.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Welcome back.
No, the hedge doesn't directly manipulate people's mental or emotional states per se. It reacts to them, more or less. Well, I think we'll call that...
Long enough?
Yeah. Because I know Dan doesn't fully understand how it works, and I don't want to rely on him for all of these. So what I'm going to do for now... Oh, let me record your beats before I forget. Is I'm going to say that on the ensuing rolls, you're all going to have... or the two of you with dramatic failures are going to have a -2 penalty. So yeah, you guys do not have the edge. The hedge does, which means it more or less determines what you need to roll to work your way through it. So yeah, you believe that you saw something familiar, and you headed down that way. So what you're going to have to roll is Wits plus Streetwise for all of your guys' roll to figure out what looks familiar or not. So it is an assisted roll for this part. So I'm assuming those of you with penalties are basically going to be assisting Charlie. I don't know what his Streetwise is, if any.
Total of 3.
Okay. So yeah, the other two
But
of
you have 8 again. Both of y'all will have 8 again due to...
Yeah, to pack them.
How does it interact with the chance die?
It really doesn't. You
It does.
just have a chance die.
Okay.
Okay. So let me roll. So, wits plus streetwise.
Oh, Tom gave an idea, but I already... I'll save that one for if they dramatic fail any other rolls while they're doing this.
Nope, I forgot the 8 again on that.
You
Goddamn.
guys both failed.
Yep.
The 8 again wouldn't
Well, I
matter
forgot.
because you failed.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your normal dice pool, Charlie, and I will roll for the hedge, which gets 2 extra dice because it has the edge. The hedge edge. I guess I can roll so you guys can see the hedge's dice pool isn't a secret, really. Okie dokie.
So close.
Well, remember, you're both just building up successes to start with.
Yes, but still, all things considered, that was surprisingly close.
Yeah. All things considered.
Okay,
3 dice.
so you guys start to work through the hedge, and you turn down a couple of streets that look familiar. You realize you ended up more or less going in a circle, but then you start down another road. You don't feel completely helpless this time. You're making a bit of progress, but it almost feels like the area is starting to close in on you a little. The street's narrowing, the hedge beasts are paying more attention to you, that sort of thing. Go ahead and roll again. It's going to be the same one this time. Another failure. I'm assuming you don't want to make it dramatic, right?
No, I don't want to make that one dramatic. I would
Plus-
like to get out of here.
Right. +1 from Miranda. And 1 success. Alright. Let's see what the hedge gets. I believe your guys is... Okay. So we're at 5 versus 4 right now. The target is 8 by default, I believe. None of you have any weird, so that won't cut down at all. But you also don't have any clarity, so it won't add to it either. Okie dokie. So yeah, you basically get a little bit more of the same. You don't circle around, you just continue down the same road, and it's seeming like you're going in the right direction, but it also seems like it's a long way to go before you'll actually get to some place recognizable. Roll again. Remember, you guys do have willpower, and this is the hedge, so...
Yeah, I was planning on spending some willpower this time.
How many willpower do I have left? Oh, I gained it all back. That's a good. Okay, so I'll actually spend 1, which will give me a modifier of +1.
+1 and +2.
I'm getting low on willpower. I need to do something about that.
Alright, 2 more successes for you guys. Puts you at...
6.
6, right? That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hedge... Oh... That puts the hedge at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. You guys continue along and you come across a building that looks familiar to you, Miranda. It looks a lot like that building that you went in last time when you escaped from the Briarwolf. You're pretty sure if you go into the alleyway, you'll be able to find the spot where the gateway was and maybe figure out one that won't go right into the prince's office.
Okay. Now I'll be like, oh, this looks familiar. Like, I came here with... What's her friend's name?
No, you didn't go there
Yeah.
from her. That's when you were escaping from the Briarwolf.
Oh, right. Anyway, she'd be like, well, remember, she has to lie about it, too. version. I remember this place. This is where we came when I came with Leah. Like, I think if we just go right here, through this alleyway, I'll be okay. And this one won't go into the prince's office. So, I'm gonna head off like I know exactly what I'm doing.
Follow her.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. You all walk down the alleyway, and then as you hit towards the end of it, you find yourselves inside a building instead. It looks like the front desk of a hotel, more or less. And there's a creature at, like, the clerk's desk that looks kind of like, a stereotypical goblin, except it has 4 arms and 3 eyes, and its skin is more of a sickly yellow color. It climbs onto the desk, and it's in, like, a bellhop uniform instead of a typical hotel clerk's uniform, which is a little weird since he seems like he's meant to be the clerk. And he rings the bell there and looks at you and says, "Ah, we have our guests for the evening. Please, follow me upstairs."
I was just looking for a way out.
He smiles at you with, like, a, nice, like, a smile that's so wide you swear there's got to be hundreds of sharp pointed teeth in there that kind of, like, almost wriggle in place as he looks to you and he says, "Oh, the only way out is to stay the night."
I'm gonna look at Charlie and Jeremy and, like, does anyone else have a hotel? Is anyone else having a Hotel California moment?
I don't know what to tell you.
You two have noted music. I'll follow the goblin.
He hops down and starts climbing the stairs, halfway walking up with his legs, halfway pulling himself up with his arms. The stairs, you swear, like, it's a case where it actually takes you an instant, like, a second or two to get to the top, but all of a sudden in your memory, it's like you just have the memory that you've been walking for hours, if that makes sense. You find yourself then on a hallway with a bunch of identical looking doorways on each side. All of them have numbers that aren't numbers. They're weird symbols, or they're like spirals, or some of them look like they're little faces that are laughing at you. And he leads you to one that has, basically a sigil of the circle of the crone on it, and he opens the door and motions for you to head inside. It looks like a typical, fairly nice hotel room bed, even. Things are a tiny bit off, like, it's spider silk that's making up the sheets, and the wood that makes up the cabinets looks like it's actually growing from the walls and still alive, like with little leaves sprouting off of it. But nothing too weird, especially not for Miranda, who's been in the Hedge before. The only way out is to stay in the hotel, Dan.
That actually looks super comfortable. I'm gonna walk into the room.
Oh boy. We'll go into the room. She's the one that's been here before.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna actually open the door and poke my head back out if I can before the bellhop leaves, hopefully, or hotel clerk or whatever he's supposed to be.
As soon as you turn around, he's gone.
Unfair.
But yeah, as you peek out the door, the hallway seems to go basically infinitely in both directions.
Hello.
No response. There is what looks like it might be a phone inside the room.
Hey, I will go and pick up the phone and see if there's a dial tone.
There is. There's a little thing on it that says, 1 hotel lobby.
Actually, does it have one for outside calls, like dial 0 or 9 to make an outside call?
Nothing obvious. It only says 1 hotel lobby. They don't know what it's named, Dan.
I'll go ahead and try.
You try 1, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, you hear the same voice of the goblin that was helping you up in the first place. It says, Hotel lobby, how can I help you?
Can I make how do I make an outside call?
Oh, just dial 9173569521567 and then your number.
So that was 95721.
Roll intelligence plus composure to see if you can remember it. Because I don't remember it. Okay, yeah, you memorize it. You can punch it in and try to make a phone call.
I will go ahead and do that and try to call Leah.
All right. Instead of the typical dial tone type thing, it's just the sound of a man screaming for a good 15 seconds or so before Leah picks up. She says, "Hey Miranda, what's up?"
That is the weirdest ringing ever. I seem to be lost-ish. Not exactly, just ish. In the hedge. And I was wondering if you could tell me where I was, if I give you a description. So maybe I can find my way out.
Where are you?
I give her a description of where I am. Or where we are.
Let me pull up her sheet and decide if she knows what that is. She has that many, and it's the hedge, so we'll give her a penalty of that.
My question is, how did she know it was Miranda?
That's
Caller
what I
ID?
would like to know.
Caller ID?
You're calling from the hotel phone.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel free to ask her.
He's like, oh, how did you know it was me anyway?
She says, it said it was from your phone.
Oh. Cool. Okay.
Anyway, I've heard of weird little hotels in the hedge, but I can't say I know anything about that one specifically.
Oh dear.
You can always try to get whoever's working there to help you, but everything has a price in the hedge. I unfortunately don't really have time to go and find you myself right now.
Well, the nice clerk, Bellhop, said that if we wanted out, we had to spend the night. So I'm guessing that's what it is.
Well, keep aware as best you can, but that might be your only way. As soon as I find time, if I haven't heard from you, I'll try and find you, though.
All right, thanks, Leah.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Yep. She hangs up.
Leah has no idea where we are, but typically, as typical for the hedge, everything has a price. So if they said that we need to stay the night, then that's what we need to do. We need to stay the night. Sit down on the bed.
Great.
Okay. I'd say we probably want to keep watch.
Probably.
Okay. So you're just going to hang around for now until, day sleep takes you?
Yeah, pretty much.
And is one of you going to try to stay awake even during the day?
Yeah, I will try as well.
Okay.
Okay, the roll for that, if I recall, is humanity.
Okay.
6 days. Any modifiers?
No.
Holy moly.
All right. Miranda, you can stay awake for pretty much as long as you
Oh,
want.
Wait a second. Actually, let
Actually,
me
what?
check on something. I might have something else.
Oh, Miranda, you can take a condition for that. Let's give you steadfast if you don't have it.
I do not. I would like steadfast.
Oh, there we go. Boop.
I assume we're upstairs.
Yep.
Okay, so I would not be able to use Protean 1.
You can use Protean 1 if you want.
Oh, okay.
You just have to pay, this is basically wood, so that's like durability 1, I want to say. So you have to pay a vitae to use it, if I recall.
Okay, then yeah, I'll use that.
Okay. So you absorb yourself into the wall.
Yeah.
It feels ticklish, like the entire time until you actually get to sleep. It feels like the wall itself is tickling you, even though it shouldn't be reacting to you.
And I'll just remain conscious.
And you shouldn't be able to be ticklish anymore.
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, as I said, Miranda, you can stay up as late as you want, more or less. You do feel tired, but you don't even take the lethargic condition.
Were you going to try to stay awake, Jeremy, or were you just going to trust me to, watch over you while you sleep?
Let me unmute myself. I think I should probably try to stay awake too.
Well, go ahead and make the roll. That might have been the wrong roll. Oh well. We'll just keep it consistent for now.
Nice.
What the heck?
Alright, you can also...
Oh, that was with 8 again still, but...
Oh.
let's
sorry, I didn't
see.
realize I still had it on 8 again.
Without 8 again, that would be... You would lose 2 successes there. I think that's it. So you'd have 4 successes, not 5.
Yeah.
So you are going to take the lethargic condition to stay awake. Boop. Make sure to read that. Those mechanics are important. So yeah, how long is Jeremy going to try to stay awake? As I said, Miranda can just kind of stay awake as long as she needs to, but...
If Jeremy started looking really tired, Miranda would reach out and start petting his hair and tell him it's okay. He can go to sleep. She's not tired at all.
That won't resolve it since you aren't up the whole night, but it will stop it from getting worse.
I guess I'll go ahead and trust Miranda, although it seems to be a bad idea. I'll do it anyway.
Oh hey, Generator just gave me Warhammer Vermintide 2. I'll talk to him.
Nice.
Maybe my Sunday stream will be the viewer interaction version of that, because Vermintide 2 is pretty cool. It has it so streamers can vote on what threats it sends the group, or
wow.
stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll make a Twitter announcement of that later. But yeah.
Very generous.
Okay, so is Jeremiah going to sleep then?
Yeah.
Okay, this is very important. Okay, what happened? I can't remember if they changed it. What happens if you actually sleep in the hedge? Let me check something really quick. Here we are on Oniromancy. Because I want to get this right, because you know me. I like doing things properly instead of saying, I don't know, we'll do this for now. So, here we are. Dream weaving. No, I need to hear about the bastions themselves. Control F bastion.
Cowboy Thomas has Cowboy Tom has a really interesting question, Falcon.
Outside the hedge, say if one of them fell asleep, even if they're in the same room. It is possible. The hedge can do all sorts of weird things. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Here we are. All routes to the... Oh shoot, there was a C page XX. Or not XX, but you know what I mean. Here we are.
Considering the way the playtest was, I would not have been surprised if it said C page XX.
Mm-hmm.
Only about a tenth of the playtest actually had page numbers, and half of those weren't correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
it
full book
looks
is out
like
now.
even if you fall asleep in the
Yes.
hedge, the bastion forms separately. I know in the original playtest, if you fell asleep in the hedge, the bastion would form right around you, but it doesn't look like that's what actually happens anymore. Okay. So yeah, 2 of you fall asleep. And
No, I don't actually fall asleep. You can choose to stay conscious using Protean.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Empire of the Requiem. Protean 1. Though she can remain conscious, she is. I think that just means you don't necessarily inherently fall asleep. I think you still have to fight day sleep.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It just says insensible to the outside world, though she can remain conscious if she wishes.
Right, I think that just means you don't inherently go into, a coma or something because you can't sense most stuff. Day sleep, it's usually very specific about if something bypasses day sleep.
Okay.
Like, it's a very expensive coil of the dragon normally, so I can't imagine Protean 1 gets around it that easily. You will still retain some amount of sense with your, predatory R's and stuff like that, though, which could wake you up after the initial attempt. Okay, so the 2 of you that fall asleep, you have the worst nightmares you've ever had before. Every moment of fear you've ever had is revisited. It feels like you're inside your dreams for as long as that would take, possibly years to get through all of these scenarios. It completely destroys your willpower. You lose all of your willpower.
Oh God.
However, when you wake up in the coterie house. Miranda, however, you're up the whole time. Near the end of the, day, as you're watching them, the 2 of them just kind of look like they look like they basically fade away. And there's nothing you can do to stop that.
She wouldn't even be able to see me.
Right. Oh, yeah, I guess she'd be able to sense your predatory aura.
Well, that's true. She could sense my
he fades
presence.
away, not physically, but you lose track of his aura. But yeah, you, Miranda, are still inside there.
I think you're muted.
I was muted, actually. Just gonna sigh and unfair. Well, I guess I could go to sleep. That's what they did.
How do you know we went somewhere better?
I don't, but you're not here. What is it the bellhop said specifically? We need to sleep here, or we have to
No,
stay the night?
he just said you have to stay the night.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and wait out the rest of the day. I will stick my head back out the door to see if it's the same thing, you know?
It is the same thing for the moment,
Okay.
but the phone is still there.
Well, as I don't have a watch, I will probably call the bellhop.
Okay. Once again he says, hotel lobby, how can I help you?
Can you tell me what time it is?
Yeah, it is approximately, he checks, you assume he's checking something. He says about 7 p.m. I don't know when actual sunrise would be in this area, or sunset would be in this area, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I don't suppose there's anything I could do instead of stay the night to get out of here.
There's kind of a silence for a moment and says, well, what would you offer for an easy way out?
A memory?
What sorts of memories do you have to offer?
Oh, I have lots of memories. I'm quite old, you see.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful. Why don't you come down to the lobby and we can discuss this?
Okay.
All right. He hangs up.
And I will go and open the door and see if it's different.
Heading to the right, there's stairs down now.
Okay, I will go ahead and head down.
You head right back down to that same familiar lobby, and the goblin is up on the desk and looking quite happy. One of his sets of arms are clasped together quite tentatively. And he looks to you and says, so, he, clambers along the desk to the closest point to where you are, and he almost looks like he's sniffing at you a bit. He closes two of his eyes, and one of them looks at you a little closer.
So, stand still. Don't sniff with me.
So what sorts of interesting memories do you have?
Well, what do you find interesting?
Oh, creatures old as you. I'd love to see the world as you experienced it when you first became a kindred. One of your earliest memories as a vampire. So he probably wouldn't say kindred. He would have said leech.
Chitcat wrinkler nose slightly like we prefer the word kindred.
Yes, kindred then.
I could offer you one of my memories shortly after I became what I am.
He kind of sniffs at you a bit more and says, well, it needs to be an interesting one. What sort do you have to offer me? I can't read your mind until you offer it up.
How about the memory of the first time I heard music? Like after I became what I am, with all my hearing enhanced.
He kind of lights up a bit and says, ooh, such a wonderful first experience that would be. Yes, that would do nicely.
Jazz music.
I'd be happy to send you exactly where you want to go in exchange for that.
I tell him where exactly I want to go, which is the coterie house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go ahead and then take the memory.
He reaches up with one of the hands that isn't clasped and strokes it through your hair, and as he pulls it back, there's what looks like a red mist around it that pools into little blood droplets on his fingers that then get absorbed into them, and he looks positively elated by the experience. He inhales yes, this way then, and he trods along the desk to the other side of the room to a doorway that you don't remember seeing before, and he knocks on it, and it forms a gateway right into the coterie house. The two of you that, just woke up, you see that forming in the house.
I would step through. Thank the goblin.
No, thank you. And doorway closes
I think
behind
you're
you.
muted, Donna.
Yeah. Yep, you are muted.
You're muted.
I think there's an appropriate condition for this. Not amnesia, that's too on the nose. It's got to be something that makes sense for you losing such a foundational memory like that. Ooh, I like this. We're going to give you... Whoops. I didn't mean to pull amnesia out of there. We're going to give you obsession for music. Like, you're going to feel like you just need more of it. Why did the thing not play before? Maybe it was just too low. But yeah, obsession for music. It's just going to feel like, you're missing something whenever you hear it. You need to focus on it that much more to really appreciate what's there.
Okay.
There we go. Nice light background music. That's a tiny bit tense. So yeah, you guys do whatever. You're all together now. Assuming Miranda goes through, the gateway closes behind her.
Yep, I went through. I see them. I'm gonna go over and hug them. Like, yay, you're here. I hoped you were.
Yeah.
See? Not a problem.
Uh-huh.
Looked like everything went just as she expected it to.
You're awfully chipper to be coming out of that mill.
Was it a mill? I thought it was a hotel. Are you two okay? You look a little, probably didn't get a lot of sleep.
A little harrowing.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I'm sorry.
Oh, that music gets louder at this point. Let's turn it
To
down
say
just
the
a touch.
least.
Okay. Continue. It's all on you for the moment.
So, I take it you fell asleep, and what happened?
I wonder. Still nothing. Fucking Streamlabs.
A lot of terrible memories happened. It was like a slog through a swamp.
Yeah, sounds accurate.
Out of curiosity, considering what he's been through, Jeremy's accent be back? Or not?
A little bit.
Okay.
Both of you that fell asleep, give me an intelligence plus occult roll -5.
Keep it.
Why even add a cult?
Or wits.
Yeah,
if
that's
your
a
wits
chance
is higher.
die. Okay. That gives me 1.
Better than none.
What'd you say?
Yes.
Intelligence
Minus-
or wits plus occult -5.
Doesn't matter.
You have a 5 for intelligence or occult?
No, something went wrong.
You probably did simple roll.
Or an intelligence?
Let's see. I mean, you had close to that. You should have had... Let's see, intelligence plus occult. What are your specialties? No, neither of those would have really applied.
Well, that's true. I
Yeah.
would have had 2.
There.
So I should have had 1 more die.
Okay.
Nope.
Do either of you want to make that dramatic?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, same.
Alright. This isn't one I can pawn off to the viewers because they don't know what this is about, so... let's throw that up to that. Okay. You go through the memories of the dreams you just went through for a moment, and you feel like something stands out, but it just angers your beast. If you have tempted, put the penalty up by 1. If you don't have tempted yet, you take tempted.
Oh no.
I don't think... Looks like Charlie does not have tempted yet. So
No,
are you grabbing it, or do you want me to? You got it?
I'm getting it.
Okay.
Tempted 2.
Yep.
My cat just scared the crap out of me.
I was trying to say poor kitty. Poor Donna. I meant poor Donna, not poor kitty.
Poor kitty having Donna in her way.
Jeez. See how you are.
Yeah.
I need to go have a meeting connection with my touchstone.
Well, tell them both I'm very sorry that they ended up having such bad dreams.
I've noticed on Twitter, whenever I put the Twitch tag in, some random other streamer ends up liking the post. It's never actually the same one either. Like, I guess a lot of Twitch streamers just randomly search that tag.
Yeah. You know. So, what do we want to do now?
Well,
Since that was a bust.
well, we know sort of what's going on. We can tell the prince or the bishop what we know, that the Heirophant is in torpor. That she's being held in some sort of basement and with a whole bunch of strix, and by a mage named Trixie. So it's not a complete bust. It's just
Miranda, roll your Clash of Wills for your divination protection ritual.
You're being searched for.
I am.
Ooh, spooky. Let me go ahead and roll that.
Okay, it just says Clash of Wills versus, so it's a normal Clash of Wills.
It's going to be blood potency plus your Cruac plus you. How long did you make that last?
I think a month.
Then that'll be plus 3.
Yeah, 1 month. Okay.
And you still have 8
So-
again.
Alright, so my blood potency.
That'll
plus-
end at the end of the night. Or end of this night.
Okay, so Crack is a 3. Plus 3 plus that, so 7 dice. And I get 8 again. Huh, now I only get 2 successes.
Oh, by the way, both Charlie and Jeremy, you can have a blood beat for that dramatic failure you experienced. It wasn't exactly a discipline, but it definitely sparked your beast.
Alright.
2 successes. Okie dokie. Continue your conversation. As far as you know, nothing's happening.
So we could always go to the prince and tell him what we found out. I mean, we didn't rescue the Heirophant, which was our goal, but it wasn't a complete bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you two feel up to going to see the prince, considering the night you spent, or do you want to give it a little bit?
I should change the...
I guess we might as well go now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so head for Elysium. I am going to try to convince Charlie on the way that I really, letting me have a little taste is not such a bad thing. Really, please.
Sorry, what'd you say?
What?
She's addicted to Charlie's blood, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And she's bloodbound. So on the way there, she'd be like, going, please? Please?
No.
Please? Just
He's
a
saying no.
little?
Miranda, roll resolve plus composure.
So, plus composure. Okay. Any modifiers?
Don't believe so. Should you still have Jaded? When does Jaded get resolved?
I don't know.
I was asking myself. Here we are, Jaded. Meaningful interaction with a touchstone. Okay. I forget what Miranda's touchstone is. Oh, it's Leah.
Leah.
So nope, not
Leah.
really.
I'm the only one that didn't take a person.
Right.
Alright. Why did I roll intelligence plus composure? It's supposed to be resolve plus composure. It's the same number of dice.
Okay, it's the same number of days, that's fine. Alright. You're able to put up with him saying no.
Should pout.
Let's change this to that.
How long does it take addicted to go away if I'm not getting my fix?
Addicted doesn't go away unless you lose humanity, I think, or regain a dot. Or if you achieve an exceptional success on a breaking point. And it turns into deprived if you fail that resolve plus composure roll that when it comes up.
Okay. Whew. Glad I didn't fail it.
Yep, deprived really sucks.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I got tempted for.
You're not sure what you have what for?
Tempted.
Tempted just means that your beast is on edge and you take a -1 penalty to resist frenzy. More if you stack the condition. I guess I could just give Jeremy another tempted so he can keep track of it that way. Let me do that for you. There you go,
I
Jeremy.
have a space for it on my sheet.
Well, I'm giving you another one anyway.
Okay, I took it.
Are you breathing your mic, Donna?
Am I doing what?
Breathing into your mic.
Yes.
Okay, stop, please.
No.
Alright. So yeah, you're heading to Elysium, you said?
Yep.
Okay. You arrive at Elysium. There's a few vampires chattering about. The bishop can be seen off in the corner, talking with someone you assume another sanctified.
Okay. Well, the bishop knew where we were going, so we'll go ahead and approach him.
Okie dokie. He gives you, a slight nod to say that he sees that you're there and finishes up the conversation with the woman he's talking to, and then looks over to you and just kind of gives a, an expectant look. Like, go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead and walk over to him.
Follow her.
So, we had not as much success as we would like.
Not as much?
Obviously, considering that we do not have the hero with us. We did find out where she is. And Who has her?
He kind of gives you a curious look and says, well, do go on.
The woman's name is Trixie. I'll go ahead and give a description of Trixie. She's dark-haired. Her eyes seem to flick with shadows. They're never consistent. They're sometimes solid black, sometimes just dark. We were in a place that seemed to be cut off from the rest of the area around it, magically. But there was something wrong with the magic.
What do you mean? What do you mean wrong with the magic?
It seems unhealthy. As if it's dying.
Like it's dying?
That's how it felt. She shrugged.
He kind of frowns at that and says, can you come back in an hour or two?
Why don't we just wait here for an hour or two?
He shrugs and says, I suppose that would be fine too.
Okay.
He goes to head off into the back of the temple. The area where no one but him is supposed to be. Especially not any of you filthy crones.
Yeah. So she's looking at the shoe and like, do you two have things you want to do for an hour, or do we want to wait here?
I really need to go visit my family.
Okay, you do that. She'd look at Charlie. Like, actually, I wouldn't mind going and finding Leah. And letting her know that I'm okay. Is there anything you needed to do?
Not really. I mean, I always have my dog tags with me, so.
Okay. Alright, so she would go ahead and text Leah and ask Leah if she's busy.
Alright. Leah texts back that she is still kind of busy dealing with some stuff with the freehold, but she does ask if you managed to get out.
I'd say yes that I got out, and let me know when she's free.
She says she will do that.
Okay. So, I will just wait with Charlie then.
Okie dokie.
I will go off by myself so that I can capture her killed.
Alright,
Spend some time basically contemplating my dog tags.
okay. In that case,
I find
you
my-
can go
in
ahead
my
and
head.
resolve your tempted.
Oh, will I go ahead and my...
Though because of the shaky nature of, having all of those fears and a lot of them involving, what you had to do there, roll me a resolve plus composure, Jeremy.
Okay.
Or Charlie. Whichever
Yeah.
one you play.
I figured you meant.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I cannot succeed at anything tonight.
Cool. You can have Shaken then.
Okay.
Why are you licking me?
Because she likes you.
I grabbed Shaken for you. I'll get rid of that and marked that on the sheet.
It's gonna get bigger.
It is gonna
Yeah,
get bigger.
well, I am glitched right now in roll 20 and can't it's not updating.
Well,
so
let
I
me-
am going to refresh the page.
For some reason, I can't just give cards to people.
Yeah.
At least not as far as I can tell. Make it bigger. So everyone is going to overtake
see
the
it on the
screen for our
screen.
viewers.
I am still reloading.
That's as big as
And
I'm
it
making
is all that I can see. I took it. The stream isn't up. There we go.
For any of you that wondering what the fuck I'm doing, we kind of have a thing where if people don't take the condition cards that I lay out right away, I make them bigger and bigger until they have to take it. Because
I usually just get
the
my
first
own.
time I did it, they couldn't see where I put it, So, I made it bigger, and I still don't see it, and so I made it even bigger, and now I just always do that. Okay, so, yeah. You find yourself, a bit shaken from going over those memories, and they're in such more vivid detail, at least all the negative ones are. Jeremy, do you obfuscate yourself on your way over there?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a Clash of Wills for me then.
Yay.
Yeah, regain.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna give you guys the tie for now. So, as far as you know, you're fine.
Okay.
So yeah, the family is there. You're able to spend some time with them without any issues, and yeah, so you can resolve your tempted to, and that'll be both of them, yes.
Yay.
But it still only counts as one resolution because it's technically one that just has a higher severity.
How do I get rid of these?
Drag it out.
There, like that?
Yep. Badoop, badoop. They're both dead.
So Falco, since I have 2 conditions that resolve by spending a meaningful interaction with the touchstone, do I have to resolve it quickly, or if I spend a meaningful amount of time?
It'll
to
resolve them
react?
both.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I said, I would just sit there with my head on Charlie's shoulder and just, be quiet, not bother him.
Okay.
Once the amount of time is passed, I'll head back.
Right. Okay. So you head back, and about as you get back, the bishop comes in from the back room, and he looks legitimately worried. He looks to all of you and says, "Can 3 of you follow me, please?"
He said, please. I'll
Yeah.
definitely follow him.
Yeah.
Hi, Andy.
Yeah.
Hey, baby girl. You decided you wanted me to hold you.
I wasn't holding her. It's gotta be held by somebody.
Alright. So, he brings the 3 of you, to that same room that he performed the ritual on you the previous night, and he closes and... Excuse me. Wow. Locks the door behind you. He does not belch like that. He closes and locks the door behind you. Not in a menacing way, but just like a nervous, anxious, almost paranoid sort of way. He walks over and says, while he's he's looking at one of the, as I described last time, there's a lot of Christian and especially sanctified symbology in this room, and he's looking at, an image of Longinus himself, almost silently praying as he talks to you. He says, "I could be wrong. It's very hard to be certain with this sort of thing, but we could be looking at a terrible catastrophe here." And he turns around at that point. Do any of you say or do anything yet?
What do you mean?
He takes a long breath, which, for elder vampires especially, is really weird for them to just do reflexively like that. Because he doesn't have the blush active or anything like that. If I'm right, we could be looking at an outbreak here.
An outbreak of what?
Do any of you know anything about something called the God Machine?
What
Can
would
I
we roll about?
roll a cult plus
Oh, yeah.
You guys can roll intelligence plus occult -3 because that's not really a common thing for any of your focus.
Hindi, you're in my way, sweetheart.
And like I said, I am continuing with my streak of not being able to do anything.
Hindi, you're in my way, sweetheart. Move.
You have a
Yes,
steadfast.
I love you.
Yeah, so
No, I'll just take a dramatic failure.
okay. Okay,
Regular.
Yeah. Alright, I'll wait for Miranda's roll. And Miranda, do you also want a dramatic failure?
Sure, why not?
Okie dokie. So Miranda and Charlie, you're pretty sure that the God Machine is kind of a... It's what, like, some weird sanctified bloodlines call, you know, their vision of God. The one who empowers them. They see it as, like, an unfeeling, unthinking machine, but they still worship it because it is still in charge of the universe. Jeremiah, meanwhile, you've heard of the God Machine as basically... it's, you know, some occult scholars and talk about this force. It's like interwoven into anything even vaguely related to developed society is the best way to put it, like as far as you've heard it. You know, it's a mystical building block that forms beneath that and kind of helps direct it, and it's more or less aware of itself and of the universe, and it has some sort of purpose and goal, but you're not really sure on all of the details there. It's not something you've really gotten involved with.
I will say that I have heard of it.
I kind of look like, sort of.
He nods at that
Not
and
one.
continues.
Yeah, I think it sounds familiar.
Yeah. He nods at that and continues. Good, that'll save me some time. It's been said by some that the God Machine has become sick. And because the God Machine, you know, controls the stability of existence, especially supernatural existence in the modern time, when it becomes sick, the supernatural tends to malfunction.
So this mage is malfunctioning?
It's certainly one explanation for it, yes.
She seemed like she wanted to study, well, she said the shadows that seem to be around us. And the strengths,
And you said the shadows were intertwined in her as well, right?
correct.
Thinks about that for a moment. This doesn't sound like anything I've heard about before, but I do have some contacts that specialize in this sort of thing that can perhaps let me know if they've heard of anything like it. Until then, be very careful. I would not go after her directly. Protect yourself through whatever magics you can, because if you're on her radar, it sounds like she might come after you.
You blink and nod.
This is... I'll probably also have to send Mary to talk with the Lotus to make sure they're aware of this over on the Awakened side of town, and they know that we're not working against them specifically. Perhaps one of them might even have further insight. This is going to be a problem. For now, if you have any way to learn anything else, do it, and if you have any way to further protect yourself, do it. And I will let you know as soon as I can about any further steps we can take. Don't take this the wrong way, but please, for the time being, leave Elysium. Avoid the public places of Kindred. The area is protected, but given enough time, the Awakened can pierce these protections, I'm sure.
Okay.
Miranda
Okay.
was worried, but she's not.
Alright, any basically motions outward.
Okay, so we head out of there, I guess.
Go ahead and go.
Alright. You head out. What do you do now?
Miranda would suggest they actually head back to their coterie. Or back to the coterie house. And start working on any protection magics they have.
Well, problem for me with that is that I'm completely drained of all mental resources and could really use some vitae as well.
Oh, you interacted with your touchstone. You do have 1 willpower.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interacting with your touchstone meaningfully gives you a point of willpower, pretty much always.
I am almost completely drained of mental resources then.
Well. You've had luck feeding where I worked before. We could go there. Of course. I wouldn't want to lead. If we're being followed, I wouldn't want to lead her to where I normally feed. So we could go to another club and let you feed and keep an eye on you. I don't suggest that we go anywhere alone.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So go ahead and do that. Go to a random club so that Jeremy can get dinner.
Okay, so not your club, just
No.
a random one.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, you guys can make a teamwork roll then, since you're not, relying on your own, resources entirely.
I forgot what we rolled for that.
You roll whatever
Whatever
makes
you
sense
want.
for what you're doing. While you figure that out, I'm gonna go top off my drink once more. I can hear you, so feel free to keep talking.
Well, if we're getting Jeremy food, I would say manipulation and socialize or manipulation.
How about we choose either empathy or expression?
Alright, manipulation plus empathy works well for me.
Yeah, empathy would be my vote.
Alright.
Okay. And do you guys get minuses to your rolls, or is it just minuses to my roll? For
I don't know.
doing more than one person.
But,
It affects all of you.
so the minuses to all of us, but since it's teamwork, we would have 8 again.
Yep.
Okay.
How much is the negative?
Yeah.
He's like, damn it, I'm trying to be away.
Good to know you guys can hear me yelling from the kitchen.
Yeah.
What is the negative to the roll?
The negative depends on how many vessels you're after and if you're trying to do it quickly or not.
Just 2, and I don't know how quickly they want to be.
Well, remember, this is going to be total vessels to split between you.
Yeah, so total vessels between us, probably 3, 1 each.
Okie dokie.
I need 2.
I'd be okay without even taking.
Okay, so 2.
Okay, so that's a minus.
So-
Two.
I need
Yeah.
2.
Minus
you
2.
need 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you need 2 vessels.
Technically, I could do without as well. So. Just get
Well, how many total are you going for? Remember, you're going to have bonus dice from them, most likely. It's
If
minus 2
Jeremy-
per vessel. After the first.
Okay.
Negative 2. All right.
So you're going for 2 total.
Yep.
Wait. She's going for 2 and I'm going
No,
for 2.
you're just going for 2. I'm fine.
Okay.
We are both not feeding. We are just helping you.
You're being the best wingman ever.
Awesome.
Okie dokie. So just -2 from each of your rolls then.
Yep. I forgot the 8 again for that.
That you did. So roll one more die with it again.
No, 2 more dice.
So I guess Jeremy's leading the roll.
Oh yeah.
I thought I had to.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, if you're the
I'm
only one
rolling.
feeding, that's probably sensible.
I'm rolling 2 more dice or 1 more dice?
One more. Oh wait, yeah, 2 more die. You had 2
There are
eights.
2 8s. 2 more dice.
Okay, okay.
It didn't light any of them up for. Doesn't it
That's
usually?
because only if they're on.
I thought
only if
it-
it's on again.
I thought it highlighted the successes, not the agains.
Well, yeah, it all highlights again.
Okay. Well, 0 more. Okay, so that's +4 dice, so +2 net.
Okay.
Two successes. Alright, scouring the different clubs, they're able to, find someone who's able to be coaxed into complacency, basically, is how manipulation plus empathy would work, with the help of them, acting as wingmen, more or less. So yeah, you take them out to, the back of the fairly drab bar, and because they don't have a ton of like high-end clubs per se, but yeah, and you feed on them without too much issue. So that'll be 3 vitae for each vessel if you're being safe at most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and remember, well, yeah, you had time to go to the river when you got back, just not immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you all are fed.
Okay.
Miranda, give me one more Clash of Wills against your hiding ritual.
Okay.
Actually, she's going to do this time to do that. Alright. Again, as far as you can tell, nothing's happening. I mean, none of you have peripheral senses anyway. They all have to be activated,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay, so yeah, you feed, nothing particular happens, and you're able to head back to the coterie house without any trouble.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I should update the sidebar for everyone.
Ow. Can you help Claus, baby? Like, yes, I know, Mom. That's how I get your
Update.
attention.
Awesome. I like that I can just type into Notepad++ and have it update there for me. Because it's really annoying to actually manipulate the text in real time on the actual Streamlabs.
Alright.
So yeah, I'm sorry, did any of you say you were doing something else, or
Once I get back to
No.
the coterie house, I was going to do something, but
something?
Yeah. Once we get back to the coterie house.
like, Grammarly, get out of my way. I should do a ward versus scrying too.
Well, don't you have a general, like, ward versus divination type stuff?
Yeah.
Though I guess that's just on you.
Yep. Yep. So I was actually going to see if I could do it on both of them.
Yeah, you'd probably want to cancel the existing one, at least after you're done casting, and then just have enough targets to have all three of you in one. Because remember, you do have to
Yep.
keep control of everything. So you're
Yep.
going to do that?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
I
That's
have
protection
divination
2, I don't know.
What, Donna?
So I have divination 3, but I don't know what I can do with it as far as protecting us.
Well, divination is more about revealing stuff than protecting. Divination 2 does let you make other rituals like trigger and reaction to things, though.
Okay. Think about that.
So, like...
I don't have divination, so we couldn't actually do it together and make
Right.
it
So, like, what does Jeremiah have? Guidance 2. So, like, you could, for instance, use Guidance 2, Divination 2 to, like, curse someone who tries to scry on you. It wouldn't actually stop the scrying, but it would penalize everything they do for... or penalize specific actions for a bit. And also let you know.
That sounds like a good idea.
okay.
Okay, so we'll handle Tassie's ritual first. So, let's go to that quick reference in the back of your Blood Sorcery book. And I'll let you start working through it yourself this time, and if, you get confused, ask me and I'll help.
Okay. It'll probably take me a bit to figure out how to do it myself, but I was looking for the reference.
Appendix 2 quick reference in the bookmarks.
Yep, I just had to open the bookmarks. Ow.
I'll be right back.
Sorry, I got distracted by reading ritual stacking.
Let's see, how many people do we have watching right now? 5. Minus U3 means we have 2 people actually paying attention. Cool. It's better than nothing. Hi, anyone that's still there. Tassie?
I'm here. So it's manipulation plus crack.
Don't you have it as learned?
Yeah, I do.
Right.
For some reason.
Le-
Okay, so
if, if it's learned, it's manipulation plus occult plus correct.
okay.
So you know the ritual, you know the type. So
Right. What if
go through the
Fire.
factors that you want next.
Why is the door closed?
Because Tim is carrying stuff out the garage. Basically, the garage out.
Oh, okay.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Bye.
We're all having fun waiting for Tassie to figure out her ritual.
Shush you.
Never.
Okay. I was still reading ritual stacking because I wanted to know if I could do 2 rituals at the same time here.
You can control, if you mean ritual control, you can control 1 ritual per dot you have in the discipline without having extra risk.
Okay, I was just making sure ritual stacking was.
And ritual
Okay,
stacking
so-
just means, the same type of effect won't affect you multiple times.
Okay, so we're gonna do additional sacrifice is made. We're going to spend. Let's see, but I need 1 vitae for each person, right?
No, you need 1 vitae per level of the ritual,
Okay,
which
so
is
it's
2.
Alright. So that would end up with 5 for plus 3.
Mm-hmm. So have you gone through the ritual factors?
That's what I was looking at.
Right.
Alright, so. Nope, still confuses me.
Okay.
Yeah, even I am lost on this, and I can normally understand
All right.
effects much better than she can.
Yeah,
Sad,
it is.
but true.
It is complicated. Like I've said before, it's based on Mage, except I simplified it a little bit, so that should give you an idea of how fun it is to learn Mage. So yeah, your potency, you're going to want 1 potency per time that you want it to be able to protect you, since it's a protection ritual. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I know I had it lasting a month before, so.
Yeah,
That's
so a month would be
duration.
3. That's
Oh.
duration, yeah.
Potency is, the way protection rituals work is they'll protect you a number of times equal to potency over the course of the duration.
Alright, so we go ahead and go for 1 per person, I guess, then?
Oh,
Well, no, it doesn't get divided between
No.
you.
Oh, okay. Let's say over the 3 times.
3
per person
times?
per month.
Okay, so a potency of 3 means 2 steps. What's your protection level? 3?
Yes, 3.
Okay, so you have 1 free step by default, so that means you're at a -2 penalty right now.
Okay.
You're going with a duration of a month, you said.
Correct.
So that's advanced. So that means you have a risk pool of 2 to start.
Okay.
And that's 3 more steps, so that's -8 total. Range, you can touch them, so you don't need extra
Yeah.
steps there. Scale, you can either go advanced and not take any further penalties, or you can take a -4 more penalty.
I'll do next.
Okay,
Not
so
take any more penalty.
you're at 4 dice of risk then. We said -8 penalty, size. One of you's size 6, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Charlie is.
So that's 1 more step, so you are at -10. Okay, and that should cover it. So with 4 dice of risk, well, we'll worry about that afterward. Just remember you have 4 dice of risk.
Okay.
So,
-10, so I'm going to spend 6 by day.
right. We already worked out, the sacrifice. You need to spend at least 2. So if you're spending, you can spend up to. Wait, you can spend up to 3 more for a +3 bonus.
yeah.
So that'd be
Alright.
5
And
spent.
then you can spend more time on it.
Right. You automatically have +1 for your location too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
that's
that means
so
you're
far.
currently at a -6.
Right.
So you can spend an extra hour on it for -1,
That'd
or
be,
for a 1, right?
well, she's doing learned rituals are half hour each step by default.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
an hour would give her
So I would
+2
trade an
more.
hour.
Okay. So spending an extra hour, that would put you at -4.
yeah, -4.
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
So that'll be then.
And wait, this is protection, right?
Yep.
Correct.
So that'll be manipulation plus occult plus cruac -4.
Hold on. I can help with this. So protection 2,
Okie dokie.
which I have.
So you just roll your improvised pool without any bonuses or penalties to help her.
Yeah. And that is manipulation occult.
It would be manipulation plus the theme protection.
Oh, okay. Okay. And it is teamwork, so I have 8 again.
Oh, all right. Bye, Dan. Hope I wasn't too late in that. I don't have any
Probably
time
too late.
stamps. All right.
Okay,
Alright.
there's another 3.
Nice.
Okie dokie.
Minus
So
manipulation.
-1.
You're at -1.
Okay, so it's manipulation plus occult plus cruac.
Yep, -1.
-1. Okay. And 8 again?
No.
He had 8 again because he was helping you. The leader of it
Okay.
doesn't get it.
Okay. So, -1.
Alright, 3 successes. Doesn't look like you have anything to be able to upgrade that. Oh, I should have taken away your 10 again because of you have obsession, but and this doesn't have anything to do with music. But it doesn't look like that affected it, so yeah, 3 successes. Okie dokie. Yeah, you're able to recast the ritual and affect all of them. And so, and then Jeremy, you could be casting yours at the same time since you weren't helping them. You just need to be present there with them.
Okay.
So we'll go through it one more time with you.
This is not a learned ritual.
It's an improvised ritual. So your base pool will be manipulation plus guidance.
But mine normally uses intelligence.
Or sorry, intelligence plus guidance. Right, you use it. You know what I meant. Attribute
Sure.
plus theme. And so that's your base pool. So yeah, what factors are you looking for? Since this is not a protection ritual, you don't need to worry about potency for the number of times, but the potency will determine like the penalty of the effect that you inflict on the offender.
Okay. So, what's the going rate? Is it 1 for 1 or is it 2?
Yeah, it's 1 for 1. Well, let's see. With guidance 2, let me double check what you can inflict at that level. Blessings and curses. Okay, you can either cause the loss of 10 again to all rolls of a specific skill or type of action, or to any type of roll a number of times equal to potency, and that's just loss of 10 again. It's not any specific penalty.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So in that case, the potency you pick will affect the number of rolls that they're hit by, and I will record that with them. Or you can record that, and then when it gets triggered, I'll record it.
Okay,
So yeah, back to the quick reference. So what are you going for potency?
3.
3. Alright. So you get 1 free step for each level above 1 of your ritual's primary theme, so that'd be 1 for you. Shoot, Tessie should have had 2 free steps. Tessie, you can actually roll 2 more dice if you want. Sorry. I confused myself. I might be slightly intoxicated to make me less anxious.
Get 10 again, you said? From the...
Right.
Okay.
But yeah. And then while we're doing that, Donna, you have 2 free steps, so your potency is covered by free steps then, because you said 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So potency of 3.
Yeah, it still requires that.
Yeah, you gotta...
That macro doesn't work without an again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make it like
Alright.
11. And then, obviously, that'll never get triggered. Okay, so you had 4
Well, but
successes.
you needed 2 dice.
Oh, yeah.
Only rolled 1 die.
Silly Tessie.
So roll another 1.
Okay. So just 4...
4
so
successes.
doesn't matter then. Just
Yeah,
had...
no difference.
Okay, so back to Donna. So what are you looking at for duration then? Oh yeah, and Tessie, you didn't have to roll risk because you ended up with 4 dice and you had 1 above the theme level, which subtracted 2, and then it was a learned ritual, which would subtract 3 more, so the base pool wasn't high enough. Back to Donna.
Okay.
But doesn't it still have a chance?
No, that's only for other stuff. The learned penalty and the you have more theme penalty affect the base pool. And if there's anything left of the base pool, other penalties can only bring it down to a chance die, if that makes sense.
Not really, but okay.
I'll go over it more later.
Yeah.
We'll do it with Donna's.
Duration, like a month?
A month? Okay, that'll be advanced. You're at a risk of 2 dice. And that's a -6 penalty.
Huh. I can make it take longer to get...
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, and then for scale, are you targeting the area, or are you targeting each of you?
I would rather target each of us.
Okay.
Unless that's gonna give me a huge negative.
So once again, that'll either give you a -4 penalty, or you can take more risk.
I'll take more risk.
Okay. So that's 4 risk, -6 penalty, and again, you have to account for size. So that's -8.
Okay.
Unless you want to take even more risk, but... I'll take that as a no.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so you're at a -8 penalty. So... Oh, you know what? Oh wait, no, you guys don't have blood sympathy to each other. None of you are actually related. And you don't have the Coven merit yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, so yeah. Donna, you're going to take extra time too?
Yes.
Alright, that'll be, since this is improvised, it's an extra hour per die.
Okay. I need to take like 3 hours extra time.
Okay, so you're gonna just fill it up with like +5 extra?
Yeah.
You do have time, you know. The others will just be tapping their feet for a bit. Okay. So that puts you at -2 after the location.
Yeah.
I forget, do you guys have a library?
No.
Because you're not casting Thebin, but it's Thebin-like. But yeah, okay.
Not.
So you're at -2 then. Intelligence plus guidance -2.
Resolve, actually, I looked at it.
Yeah, that... Okay, whatever it is. I don't have your thing open. Resolve plus guidance -2. and that costs you a willpower, and you need an appropriate sacrament for it. So how does your ritual work, since this is improvised, not something you've done before?
I'm going to read from the Vedas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use the sacred hand gestures. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm bad at this.
So what's the sacrament, though? Because you have to
Sacrament.
you have to give something up as part of it.
Give something up. Can't give that up. I will give up a necklace that I tend to wear a lot.
Okay. So you offer up a necklace as you're reading from your scripture, and basically calling down a purity of self and a retribution against those who would interrupt that. And go ahead and make your roll to see if that is successful.
Okay, so it's resolve plus guidance -2, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that means basically
Resolve.
resolve, yeah. Ah! Oh.
Uh-oh. Do you have any... No, you don't have anything that
Addition.
would
No.
Yeah.
help there. Technically... Oh, you have a lethargic. Roll stamina plus resolve to see if you even get through the ritual.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Oh, now I get a success.
Okay. Well, you at least get through the ritual, but yeah, the magic, it just doesn't end up working. You really don't have time to do that again tonight, because by the time you're done, it's getting pretty close to sunrise. But you
Sorry,
can try again
guys.
tomorrow. Did the other two of you do anything inside the coterie house while you're waiting for her much longer ritual?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that I'd be able to do.
Alright, so... Yeah, you finish the ritual. It's pretty much time for day sleep shortly after. Jeremy, you can resolve lethargic because you're going to sleep fully through the day without any trouble, I imagine. You're not going to try and stay awake or anything silly.
Nope.
Alright,
It's another...
and I think we can probably call that a slightly early night for now.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I'm starting to lose a little bit of focus. I haven't mentioned it to the, one person left in our audience, but I'm kind of sick today, so I've been over-caffeinating myself to get through this, along with drinking a bit of alcohol, which is always a healthy combination. So yeah, let us go through XP. So let's look at your aspirations. Definitely got learn a new secret. For Donna. Haven't really groomed your family friend or built up a cult yet. Tessie definitely made a new enemy, so that's resolved. You haven't told Leah what happened the first time in the Hedge yet. Definitely haven't earned a boon from the Primogenitor Prince. You did explore the Hedge with Miranda. Not her friend, but I'll still call that
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
And you helped protect a member of the Circle from a new danger with your protection assistance, so I'll call that too. Alright. Okay, so let's see, anything else? Did you do anything that should trigger any humanity drops? Let me check that chart real quick. Doesn't really look like it. Reaching the... Nah, you're pretty fine there. Okay. In that case, it looks like we've got 1 experience and 3 beats for each of you. What's that up to? 29
Why
total.
do you keep trying to open
And let me check the blood beat list again for any that we haven't already covered. Oh, I typed blood beast. That's why I didn't find it. Here we go. Dramatic failures on discipline rolls. I don't think you did any for discipline rolls. We covered any exceptional successes already. No embracing, no ghouling, no revenants, no exsanguinating, no frenzy, no... Did any of you spend your last fete? I don't think so.
No.
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 Didn't drink beyond capacity, didn't join a bloodline, didn't gain discipline dot, and didn't roll for detachment. So no blood beats other than what we already covered. Okie dokie.
Well, we already did give me a blood XP, so yay.
Yep. Jeremy, you gotta do... Or, Charlie, you gotta do more vamp stuff. I think you're most behind on blood beats.
Oh, I am definitely behind. But, I mean, essentially my character is not built for
Right.
active vamp stuff.
You'll have to start, you've got a bunch of combat stuff. You'll have to do stuff like riding the wave and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'd also give it to you if you used, like, a, what disciplines do you have again? Why am I not seeing your sheet?
I have
There it is.
Rhodian, Vigor, and Resilience.
Right. Do you have the... So yeah, if you, like, exceptional success to combat roll that was using one of those, I'd also give it to you for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so I think that covers this time. Anyone that's listening, I do plan to do a video game stream on Sunday. I'll be, doing another bout of Falco the RPG. I'll have a quest ready for that. We're probably going to be playing, like I mentioned, Warhammer Vermintide 2. We'll do the viewer interaction thing so the chat can have fun with that. That's usually around 6 p.m. on Sundays is what I've planned as my, official timed thing since I'm trying to be all professional now. So yeah, thank you anyone that's still here, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Night night.